All right. Today's topic is recruitment. I hope you guys came with your vocal cords attached because I don't have a lot of expertise on recruitment. I have seen a lot of recruitment efforts, and I'm happy to talk about things I've seen, but this is really for you guys. I'm just here to facilitate and tell a dad joke here and there. For those of you that I haven't met, could you raise your hand, either physically or using the reaction down at the bottom of your screen? Raise your hand if this is your first membership masterminds meeting. And I'd love it if we could see your face. Hi, Karen and Jen and Roberta and Laura. Oh my goodness. That's cool.
Oh,
I
we
love
got a
it.
lot of newbies.
If you're I get it. If you're eating lunch, oh, yeah, there's Roberta. Hi, Roberta.
Hi.
Great background. Alexis. Wow, there really are. I didn't realize there'd be so many new people. We've been doing this for I think over a year now, maybe. And we're getting close to 1,000 participants in LinkedIn in the membership masterminds group. I say this every month. I'm not super impressed with the
I
LinkedIn
lost track of that.
group
I didn't know it was this
functionality.
weekend, but yeah. Oh, are you going up to the cottage or are you staying at the cabin?
I think we should all go to the cottage. We got
Yeah.
another big meeting at the cottage. Um, I'm not super impressed with LinkedIn, in terms of the group functionality. But on the other hand, it's such a universal tool that everybody's a part of. That's why we chose to do it. The takeaway essentially is this meeting, what we do right here is really the value add for this group. I suspect if you have a question and you want to put it out to the group on LinkedIn, maybe people will respond. It just doesn't seem to drive that much engagement. So having said that, welcome. You guys are, if this ever settles down and we don't see that many people participating here, maybe we'll dissipate it. I'm Dave Will. I'm the co-founder and CEO of PropFuel. PropFuel doesn't really have anything to do with membership masterminds other than we came up with the idea and wanted to start these discussions. I've been in the association space for 20 plus years, working with associations from systems, a technology slant. So I really love these conversations. All right. Having said that, some of you are PropFuel users and some of you are not. It's okay. It's fine to talk about it. It's fine not to talk about it. All right. That's a little introduction. Again, welcome. The topic is recruitment. In case people joined since I pasted these questions in, here's a look at the questions, but I always like to start with this. Does anybody here have a issue that they want feedback on or to talk through in regards to recruitment, member acquisition?
Hi, I'm Ahnaz. I'm from the American Association for Respiratory Care,
Hi,
and
Manaz.
I just started here about 6 months ago.
Awesome.
I'm not putting my camera on because I'm eating and I'm a mess. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Um, we've been seeing our numbers drop, and our recruitment efforts have been a little lackluster the last couple months. So I was just wondering if like anybody else is kind of seeing the same thing, if maybe even your retention has dropped a little bit in like the last 3 months. And if anybody has any ideas on
Can
um
you put some numbers around that? You say in the past few months or you say in the
yeah,
past
so
couple of
like kind
years?
of since March.
Oh, interesting. And it's not seasonal?
No, we do an anniversary. We were up to 42,000 in February, and we're hovering between 41 and 40,000 right now.
And that doesn't happen every year. This
No,
is unusual.
this is
Huh.
totally new to like this like truly last 3 months.
Can I ask one more question
Absolutely, please.
and then I want to open it up to the group. Um, has there been a new approach to renewals, a different medium, did you cut anything out or add anything?
Oh, we haven't cut, we've been adding. So this month, August, will be the first renewal that we're doing with your SMS texting platform.
Mm,
And but no, like we've been adding onboarding. There's been a lot of turnover over here, so we're kind of rebuilding everything.
mm-hmm.
But membership has been trending up over the last couple of years, but in March, it really just kind of we've just been seeing a decline.
Anyone else? Any comments from Manaz?
Hi everyone, I'm Bianca from the National Partnership for Educational Access. I also have my colleague on the call here, Kareen. Hi. And so something not necessarily similar because we're definitely a smaller, way smaller association about 200 230 member organizations and then folks that have access to profiles nearing 900. And we're on an auto renew system yearly. And folks renew on June 30th, so fiscal year renewal. And we've had some challenges given just the work that we do and the political climate with a couple of folks rolling off. And so one thing that we're stressing or trying to stress in our messaging is the importance of community even more now than ever, especially in our field. And so it's been definitely helpful in some conversations in regarding to retention, but it's just something that we need to be more mindful of going into a new membership year with recruitment and such.
That's great. Thank you.
Manaz, if you're using PropFuel SMS, I'm
Mhm.
assuming you're also using the email component for renewals?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Part of that process tends to ask the people that say they're not planning to renew. The next question is oftentimes, why not? Have you seen a trend or a theme in the response to why they're not renewing?
So we've seen that it's not seeing the value. Members are retiring, and those seem to be about 20 and 20%, and then the rest is kind of all over the place. Like
Yeah, yeah.
their organizations aren't paying anymore, or but we haven't outright asked, like, is this too expensive or is there another reason? So I can definitely add that to
Mm-hmm.
month.
Another approach is I have two comments here. One is let's find the people that did not answer that question and did not renew,
Mhm.
put them into a unique campaign and send them a note, a quick check-in saying, hey, we noticed you didn't renew. Tell us more why. And part of that could be, oh, I still plan to renew. I guarantee
Right.
you're going to win some of them back
Okay.
just because they probably missed it. But on the other hand, at least you'll get some more input. Now, these are unresponsive people, so the
Mhm.
response rate's going to be low,
Right.
but it's something. Like
Better
if you
than
can get
nothing.
5%, 6%, maybe if you're lucky, 10% of them to respond, that'd be
Mhm.
great.
Okay.
So that's another approach. And in contact whoever the client success rep is on our end. By the way,
Thank
this
you.
is not typical. This is not this. I just want to tell everybody else, it's not about PropFuel, but that's something you can do. The other
Uh,
comment I have, and then I want to open it up back up to the group. And if there's no other comments, we'll jump into our questions. Um, I'm uh, you can roll your eyes if you want, everybody, but I am super high on AI right now. Much to the chagrin of my friend Jeff DeCania, is very unhappy with the path AI, or what the destruction AI has had on our society. And I've been in some great conversations with him recently. But having said that, if this were me, what I would do is take all the information I can about uh, the non-renewals, put it into a prompt into ChatGPT or whatever AI system. Just give it as much information as you can in a prompt. Say, why do you think our membership has dropped in the past few months? And then don't just leave it at that. Continue the dialogue. That's the beauty with AI, is being able to continue the dialogue back and forth. It's that exchange that ultimately either gives you ideas to pursue or gives you the answer straight out. Usually it's just ideas to pursue. And if you're going to do this with ChatGPT, I recommend O3. It's the reasoning method, LLM, as opposed to 4.0, which is just super fast, but a little less comprehensive. All right. Any other comments from Manaz about her membership or your membership related to her?
I have one forum. I'm Joanna Leone. I'm with the Director of Membership for WERC. Ours too is political because it's our members are supply chain. So we have seen the drop. We know there's nothing we can do about it quite yet, but we've done everything that Dave had said, except instead of doing an email, we actually picked up the phone and called the members who weren't renewing. And now we do have some solid foundation, solid reasonings. It's nothing to do with us. It just really is the political environment and everything that's affecting supply chain right now. So we're having to go back and say, okay, do we want to readjust membership dues during the struggle period? Or do we want to support our members with our benefits, our education, and our courses to help them continue to do their jobs, even though they can't renew? So we're back to looking at a plan to treat our stakeholders along a separate path just as much as our members.
Okay.
Joanna, I love that you're asking, instead of just saying, yeah, just the political environment, saying, okay, it's the political environment, and what can we do? What can work do to either help our members more or to adjust with the punches?
They still need our information. It's not their fault they can't renew.
I'm just going to hop in, Kareen with NPA, where I work with Bianca, who just shared something. But one thing that we also have done is, again, we're very small, and we have a very strong community of members, but I think it's, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 who we are adjusting dues for 1 year for just those folks. So we've had people who would say, sorry, I'm not renewing. And we follow up and we dig a little bit more and they say, it's actually budget, it's a problem. And then we go back and we offer them, we do, our organizational members are on their, we do it by a sliding fee scale based on operational budget. So we offer them a lower price point and we say, we can do this for a year. And the last time that we did this was actually during the pandemic, because we had a number of members who just, were having trouble financially because we have a lot of small education organizations who are part of our membership. And so we've negotiated with a handful of them who will be paying a lower dues rate for the year, and then they'll go back up. But they really want to stay in the community, but it's out of their hands. The budgets are tight. They're getting federal funding for things and things have been slashed. And so we won't do that with everybody, but if we reach out and then somebody's willing to have a conversation with us, then we'll engage in that.
Cool. It's really nice. We can't adjust our dues at all, but I love being able to help out in that way. And it's great that you're doing that. Thank you for sharing that.
Is it possible, if you can't adjust the dues as Karen just described, could you bill them out on a quarterly basis? I'm a part of 2 trade associations, and they both said if you're having problem paying it all at one time, they just bill you quarterly.
It's a really
You
good idea. I've been
do
trying
some installment dues, yeah.
I've been trying to set up the pay in 4, but I don't think that we've actually just looked into invoicing quarterly. I'll have to check with the team and see if they can do that. That's a great idea.
Manaz, did you say you were also having some trouble with like the recruitment side of things as well?
Yeah.
Thank
Or was
you,
it
Brittany.
primarily
I
just
think
retaining
bringing it back
and
to the
bringing it
topic
back?
today.
Bringing
Yep.
it back.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, I
So
think renewals and retention, I think that's a really good topic.
yeah,
But you also, the focus is also on recruitment,
recruitment.
so I don't want to lose that. So
No,
is it a
so
mix of acquiring new members and retaining the old ones?
yes, we're doing a good job recruiting new students, but like new active members who pay full dues, we're struggling there, but we're the only place I can see actual numbers is in the retention, right? So like that's where we're seeing the fall, but like I'm not seeing new people come in um at a steady pace, like definitely down from previous years.
Because so one of the things I'm thinking of too is like, do you guys ask when new members join, what they're looking for or what they're hoping to get out of membership?
Yes. Yep. We do.
Okay. Because I think it would be interesting to pull that data to see why a majority of new members are joining, to see if that then aligns with the messaging and the things that they're seeing throughout the year, because that could impact retention.
Right.
It can also give you feedback on what to start promoting. Like if majority of people are joining because of your event, then like some of your recruitment efforts can focus on, or you can put more time and effort into like promoting the event as a recruitment effort as well, or networking, whatever it may be. You can put more time and effort into that, knowing that X% of members are joining because of that reason. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right, raise your hand using the Zoom function down in the reactions. Raise your hand if there's something you want to say or a question you want answered. In the meantime, I have a question for you. Let's start with the first one. What recruitment challenges are you facing right now, whether it's budget, bandwidth, messaging, or competition? Is there anything you're struggling with from a recruitment perspective?
You're wrong.
Competition. Roberta, you know, you put something in there. I'm going to ask you to talk. Roberta, tell us about your organization and where the competition is coming from.
Oh, sure. Hi, I work for MOCA, which is Multimedia Over Coax Alliance. We've been around for quite a long
Wait,
time.
I'm sorry. Say it again. Multimedia over coax?
Yes,
What's coax?
coax. It's your TV cables
Oh,
that
okay.
are
All right.
wired in your house, and they can be utilized as part of your infrastructure for networking, for home networking, or for MDU networking. And it works. We're basically middle mile agnostic. So that means that the technology standards that are created by the association can work with fiber, cable, fixed wireless access, you name it, as long as you have a decent coax cable in your house, you can repurpose it for networking uses. But competition, certainly what we found over the last 3 years is that there's been mixed messaging, which I've been working with the board, but they haven't wanted to tackle it yet. They've just started to do that. Because we're butting heads against the former fiber, the fiber boys. And the fiber says, oh, you don't need coax, you should not use it, pull it out, and we'll put in fiber. That's for fiber to the room or fiber to the direct fiber to the location, which ironically in the US is primarily done through Ethernet. So, it's except in rural areas where there's a direct fiber connection. Now with the changes in the administration at the National Institute of Technology or Telecommunications, is that because we're agnostic, I'm working on great new messaging for talking about how, hey, whether you're fiber, whether you're fixed wireless access, whether you're wireless, whatever you do, you don't get rid of the coax. You can reuse it as part of the distribution. And it's been successful for a lot of MDUs, that's multi-dwelling units, so apartment complexes, who are rewiring to get, the latest and greatest multi-gigabit networking infrastructure. But it's still competition, and we're just now starting to tackle it. And our former members have said, I don't really need to sign up with you guys. I know what you guys are. You're an old technology, so we don't need to use it. Coax, who needs coax? To your point, Dave, it's like, what's coax and why do I need it? Yeah.
So how are you combating that? I mean, what you said you're just starting
So
to
I'm
tackle
working
it. What are you
with,
doing?
yeah, I'm working with a couple of members who are very strong in um, the full space of the technology and are working with MDUs primarily in the United States. So I'm working, it's slow process, but I'm working with them to create a series of LinkedIn posts. I did a LinkedIn post that got some recognition from the community right after the decision that to, not just have fiber be the end all be all, but also allow fixed wireless access. And so I'm working with them because the members, because they actually provide the products that based on the standards that we've created. So we're getting a series of posts, a white paper, and maybe a longer article through LinkedIn because that seems to be a good way to communicate with the audience. I suggested Substack, but in creating a Substack account, but they're not ready for that yet.
Lily, you mentioned Professionals in Human Resource Association out in California. You mentioned competition and bandwidth. Do you want to expand on a couple of those or both of those?
Hi, Dave, team.
Hey, Lily.
Hey. So, so a couple things are going on. We have we are part of a larger system of organizations through the Society of Human Resource Management. So we have other SHRM affiliates in our area that create some sensitivity and competition. We are, and we're honestly having trouble with defining and coming up with messaging around our value proposition. But typically people come to us for ongoing continued education, and there's a lot of competition with that. So, and it's being given out for free. So after the pandemic, there's a lot of virtual offerings, real estate, because we do a lot of employment law, and that's what we're known for. Not real estate, law firms. Law firms are doing free professional development around there. So um, that and there's a lot of other organizations getting into that business of providing professional development for HR. Universities, we even compete with corporate training programs. So that's something that we need to kind of crack. Also, we've never had, and I'd love to hear from others, but we haven't had a person that's solely responsible for basically selling membership. And we've acquired members through word of mouth. We have a great volunteer core, and through our conferences, we price it so that if you're a non-member, you get a member. That is just not panning out anymore. That not having a focus on selling membership and selling Pyra is not working. We've really done the selling on the sponsorship side. So what are we doing? I mean, we've tried in this, we've constricted, so we're not making the revenue that we've had in the past with the conferences. So we're trying small things like putting more money into digital ads for membership or trial members. But we're really looking at, unfortunately, getting swallowed up on the membership side by our kind of, the larger affiliate, which is SHRM. And so we're in that decision-making process right now, because while membership does break even, more or less, the other portions of our organization are not. So I hope that's what you're looking for, Dave. I
I'm
don't
not looking for anything, man. This is like, it's
just,
just discussion. And in fact, you
yeah.
sparked a really interesting topic, which you and I have talked about in the past, and that is sales and associations. And I don't want to get too derailed here, but I would love to hear, because this is something I've been thinking about a lot. In just about any organization, there's sales. Every organization. except associations. And when associations talks about sales, it's usually for sponsorships. Now, there's some outliers, but that's been my experience. And I have no idea. I don't understand membership usually, maybe marketing, but membership and marketing are really what you would call a sales team. So I'm very curious. We've been thinking about building what we call a revenue agent, something that would focus really closely on those revenue driving jobs to be done at an association, like an assistant focused on revenue. I would love if you have an opinion about that. We haven't built it yet. We're working on figuring out what the next thing is. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the chat. Help us build the next product. But any comments about the sales stuff? Or I saw a couple other people in here that were dealing with competition as well. Any other comments? If we get any silence, I'll move on to the next question. Yeah, Lily says membership and marketing just isn't cutting it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dave, two things. First, my wife is also shocked that I'm not an electrician or a plumber or a drywall guy or, carpenter, whatever. But from the revenue generation side, I represent two chapters of international associations and been president of one and currently president of another. And what we've done is pretty much just said, hey, well, I'm not counting on membership. We're counting on program revenue. And so what we've done is become very aggressive with our programs instead of like our competition, which normally does maybe 8 programs a year. Last year we did 18. We're doing master classes and we're charging $50 to go to a master class where our parent association is charging $350 to $500 to do a master class. We're currently booking our programs all the way out into May of next year. So we already have all of this year done. We're already working on Q1 of next year, and we've already got 3 of those done. So what I found is that when we're promoting the programs long in advance, people are registering for more than one program. And we get, I'm based in the Philadelphia area. About 80 or 90% of our attendees are from outside our market. So we're getting attendees from the Philippines, from Ireland, from the UK, a lot from Canada. So we promote it very heavily, through various LinkedIn groups and various channels, and we get a lot of attendance. And all of our revenue, most of our revenue, is coming from programming. But on the membership side, it's been very difficult to get new members to come on board. We think we're providing a lot of value through our programs. We hear people tell us there's a lot of value through those programs, especially folks who are outside the market, but trying to attract new members has been a challenge. And competition is an issue because we do compete against the American Marketing Association and local ad clubs. And there's about 10 associations that are very similar to what we do just in the Philadelphia area. Also at the national level, differentiating IEBC from PRSA, which is one of our biggest competitors. It's a challenge. And probably the biggest thing we face is, companies are just not willing to pay for membership. They're not willing to pay for professional development opportunities. So we try to make it easy for our members. I tell, our members that if they have dropped out, I said, hey, have you looked at the quarterly billing? Is there a way we can reduce the local dues? Anything we can do to try to keep people on board. But it is a struggle. And, we're getting our numbers up, but, we'd like to see a lot more than we're currently seeing.
They always say, oh, Bianca, good. Let me just finish this comment and then it's all yours. They always say in the business world and seminars I've been involved in, it's always less expensive to keep an existing customer than it is to find a new one.
Yeah.
I mean, duh. So I'm not suggesting we stop our recruitment efforts, but at the same time, that makes new member onboarding and the value connection, if that's a thing, connecting existing members with the value you're providing, that makes that stuff even more important. Bianca.
Yeah, I just want to echo Rick, and a lot of what you shared resonates with us and what we do. We've kind of had to have had that shift in focus of providing more programming as an entry point for potential members, and kind of give people a taste of what we do, right, through programming, and hope that that converts them to membership at some point, right? And so we've been also aggressive of planning out more events and more offerings for non-members and members at different rates, all that, definitely trying that. And I think it's a great tool, especially in this space that we are in, where folks know their organizations can't pay for a whole membership, but hey, maybe we could send you to one of their events and let's see later on. But it gives them, kind of leaves a lasting impression on folks. And I think a great, success story with us that I'm happy to share is that we hosted an event in person this past May, and one of the facilitators was like, wow, like, this is such, NP is such a great organization and association. This was just a taste of y'all, but right, as being a facilitator, but now I really want to explore membership, and that converted into membership. And now they're on an auto renewal basis with us, from just participating in that event. So I think it's a great tactic and tool if folks can definitely use programming as a recruitment tool. So definitely resonate with that, Rick.
Thank you.
Laura. All right.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you so much. I had a question to both Bianca and Rick about the increasing the program output. I think that that's something that can absolutely work with my organization as well. We struggle with competition and all of these challenges, retention. And I guess I'd just love to get your both like your thoughts on how at your organization, who's taking the lead in planning more programs or in driving the increased programs? Is it coming from membership? Like is the membership team going to programs and saying, we need more programs to promote to members and prospective members? Or is it more collaborative? Is it the program side saying, kind of doing their own work and then coming to membership and saying, we've got this, and this coming up for you to promote? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Hey, Laura, what organization are you with?
Sure. I'm with an organization called Grounded Solutions Network. We are a fairly small organization of about 250 members that work with community groups, some municipalities. We also have individual members, but we're all focused on creating lasting affordability housing solutions.
Okay, Bianca, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. I will say that we were fortunate enough to kind of do some strategic planning and bring on an outside consultant that kind of took stock of everything we were doing. And from that, a suggestion was a meeting planner, to add a meeting planner to our team. So we were fortunate to create a role on our team and hire that person. And now we were a very small team of 3, and now we're a very small team of 4 doing a lot of work. But I call us the dream team, and Karine could attest to that. Like, we do a lot of great stuff as a small team. And I know that's a lot of bias right now, but it's true. And so, yeah, I think that's step number 1 was for us of assessing, taking stock of what we're doing well and where we need to grow. And it was definitely from programming. Again, we're a national organization, so there's not a lot of opportunities actually for in-person things. We do a lot of virtual things. So from that, having a meeting maker, now we're able to expand to have more in-person offerings, and that meeting maker person is responsible for, making sure logistics are handled out. So it kind of helps with the bandwidth and capacity things. And I know that's not true of all organizations to have that and bring on an additional person to their staff, but just reallocating roles and, things of that nature was helpful and throughout that whole process. And so now, because we have our lovely meeting planner on our team, she's able to kind of spend her time on expanding our programming. But as a team, I think we're really responsive to what's happening in the field of education. So we're constantly taking stock of what needs to be talked about and where. And so we're really proactive with hearing, knowing what our members' needs are and having those one-to-one interactions with members of like, hey, what's happening in your area and how can NP help and what can we do? And if that turns into a collaboration to have an event in that area, so be it. So we're really big on collaboration, I will say, and then obviously bringing on a new event planner to our team was really helpful in that. But yes, I actually have to jump off to actually go to one of our events. So thank you so much for having me. Karine, it was nice seeing you. I'll see you in the office next week. Bye.
Thank you, Bianca. Appreciate you
So
participating.
Laura, we do a lot of different things. So first of all, we're just two of us, myself, who I'm the chapter president, and they have a program chair, and the two of us are always on the outlook for new speakers. So if we attend a national workshop, or we are at a national conference or a regional conference, and we hear really good speakers, we reach out to them, see if we can enlist them to speak at the local level. Some of them are paid, some of them are not. We also do joint programs with other associations. So, for example, I said PRSA is one of our biggest competitions, but the local chapter, we partner with them to do programs. We partner with other IABC chapters around the country. And those are great because we can set them up, we can charge the same price. Both groups handle registration on their own. Anything above the speaker fee, they just get to keep. We also look to bring back speakers who were very successful in the past. So if they had a great attendance, we invite them to come back. Two of our speakers we've had back. One was been there 3 times. One's been 4 times over the last, say, 4 years. And AI and technology is always a hot topic. So we have a speaker that comes in and talks about these topics. He's always in the cutting edge and kind of talks about the intersection of AI and communications or technology and communications. We also try to plan 6 months in advance, if not more, to have our speakers already locked in, and we promote those programs ahead of time. So when we send out the invitation for, say, the August program, there's going to be on the bottom links to the September, October, November, December programs, and then people can register ahead of time. We also record all of our programs. We make all the videos available for free about 30 days after the presentation. The only reason we don't do it right away is they don't cannibalize registrations. But we also ask all our speakers to cut promos. So we ask them to cut like a 60-second or a 90-second promo, which we then debut on the website. We put it up on our Vimeo channel, and we also will promote those videos during a current program. So again, if we're in July, we can show the video for the August and September program. I think it humanizes it and gets people more of a feel for what that program topic is going to be, and it's helped registrations. And then finally, the biggest thing I think is promoting it outside your own channels. So go outside of your Facebook, LinkedIn. Are there other groups, on LinkedIn or other channels that you can promote it on? And that's where you're going to pick up these people who are outside your market or outside your membership to come in and attend your events.
Thank you, Rick.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to jump to the third question on our list. This might be quick, maybe not. Are you testing or using AI, automation, or other technology to support recruitment? Any tools you're using that you're finding valuable? I've always been curious. So when Justin says I use AI for most things I do now. Justin, if there's something specific to recruitment and how you're using AI, I would love to hear that. So we've been doing some work. When I say we, I mean Propfuel. You guys probably know that, but we've been doing some work with organizations asking questions on websites as well as email and SMS. And on the website, like if you think about the way a lot of industry, retail in particular, works, you go to a website or you see an ad that draws you to the website. So there's paid advertising. This is how industry, B2C and B2B, B2C. No, B2C industry is getting new customers. They do ads on social, Instagram, wherever, draw people in, get them to the website. The website then pops up with a question or a request for email, a request for SMS, maybe 10% off, some sort of promotion. And now you're retargeting them too. I think Feather does the retargeting stuff now, but you don't need Feather. You can do retargeting just through Google stuff. Not really my area of expertise. And now you've got their email, people that have expressed interest in one way or another. You got their email, you might have wooed them into SMS, and you can retarget them. Yet I don't see a lot of associations doing that. Are any association, are any of you guys doing digital marketing to that degree where you have ads driving people to website, capturing emails, and then nurturing those, Lily, you are?
Yes. So we had tried it in the past pre-pandemic, and we had trouble tracking conversions. Now we have a new team, in-house team, yes, and they have implemented Feather, and it took them a minute to get to where they were able to track conversions, but just in June they figured out the technology. And we're now able, so I just did a trial membership, we're calling it the preview pass, and we're now able to see how many people are converting, or at least I think it's converting, because we used to be able to track click-throughs, which is like really not telling you anything. So we just got that working, which is fantastic. But the numbers for it, we're not spending a lot of money. So we got a budget of, on membership side, $500 a month, and we kind of split that up on the different things we're promoting. But yep, we finally got that working.
Thank you, Lily. And I know you're using PrepView as well. I just said this to Justin, like PrepView is a super easy way to capture emails on the website, which is of course the website component of that. SMS too, which I love.
By the way, I don't know if this is relevant to this conversation, but with this trial membership, we bring them in. So they're kind of like a leads list, right? And I'm onboarding them, and I'm feeling really good about I created a new onboarding. We did have another onboarding, but I feel like the onboarding campaign through PropFuel that I did for this trial members is great. So I'm going to probably just move that over to use as an onboarding system for our larger group of people who come in. But it's basically a nurturing campaign that so I could see doing that with other types of leads. It doesn't just have to be through a trial membership. So we plug them in, we get them and we convert them, and then we bring them into our AMS. And then through PropFuel, we start nurturing, asking them what their goals are, how we can satisfy them, and also keep on reminding them that, hey, their trial membership is expiring, and this is what this is their next step.
Justin said earlier, I was looking for this post. It feels like everything we do is futile, and every research we do are all the things we're already doing. It got me thinking, and Lily, something you just said. I would encourage you all to study the way organizations outside of the association space are doing marketing and sales as well. There's lots of digital stuff going on out there. There's a great podcast and a group called Exit 5. Brittany on our team is a part of Exit 5. And I'm happy to share what we do at the PropFuel. And Brittany, can you put the link to Exit 5 in there? I think it's a really cool podcast,
Yep.
totally focused on like business marketing. But I truly believe that associations, if you want different results, it's time to start thinking differently. Doesn't mean you have to do everything small businesses or big businesses are doing, but it might give you some ideas for how you can recruit new members differently in your association. Some of the things we're doing, Brittany, maybe you can comment on this too. We do a lot of content. This right here, I consider this to be soft. We're not looking for you guys to come over and sign up with PropFuel, but this sparks conversation that gives us feedback on what's happening in the industry and allows us to get more involved in the industry. So this is kind of soft. We do lots of webinars that are thought leadership oriented to draw in new eyeballs, for lack of a better word, people that are not currently in the realm and in our marketing world and not customers ours. So if we hold a webinar where we get maybe 150 registrants, which is not uncommon, many of them will be this will be their first interaction with PropFuel. We're doing a gifting campaign. I don't know if any of you, it's a very small percentage of people that we engage with, but we target certain accounts and we'll send gifts to those accounts with a message. Brittany, what else are we doing to recruit new customers?
Well, the gifting campaign, that actually would be a good one for trade associations. Do we have any trade associations here? I think it could be a little bit harder for professional memberships unless you do like smaller gifts. But I think trade associations could actually really benefit from that. And just to kind of walk through what that is, essentially we're providing some type of value, some type of gift just to catch their attention so that we can then talk to people about like what we have to offer. So you would look at some high value like associate or organizations that you are interested in like having joined the association, and then you would reach out to those contacts and send them something. So again, it's about like catching their attention to start the conversation. Um, so we do toolkit or valuable research document. Yeah, so those are some other things that we're focused on. Are you, Julie, are you thinking that as the actual gift or using that as like lead gen?
Well, I was thinking that like, hey, if you do this, you get this special toolkit or whatever it is. You get to see this research report that isn't public. And then, when they have to put all their information in, because I've done it. I've put in my information in order to get the download, and then then they have my information.
Yeah, you could test that out for sure. I think for what makes the gifting process different, the one that we're doing, is that it's not necessarily related to prop fuel. It's just, again, something to catch people's attention. So we physically mail these boxes to people's offices. Whereas with the toolkit and the research document, you're probably going to email that out, or you're going to put that on social media. It's going to be some type of like web-based thing or online-based promotion. So like Dave was saying earlier, it's more so about thinking outside of the box. So, okay, so historically we've done digital ads, we've done emails, we've done cards. What can we do differently that's going to catch their attention so that they'll listen to us and they'll essentially do a double take of like, okay, this association did something cool. I want to be a part of that. So you could do the toolkit or document. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
No. I didn't mean to interrupt. I say this in all the webinars I do, that attention is the new currency. And sometimes it's just getting people to look up for a second so you can have a conversation with them. May not be a long one.
Right.
A friend of mine once recommended mailing a book of a relevant book to people. Now it doesn't have to be something big. Here's an example. This one's called Hypergrowth with David Cancel. He created Drift. It's super thin. You slide this in an envelope. This with a handwritten note, or even not a handwritten note, just a note in there, going out to prospective members or people that have come to a conference but did not participate. Everybody opens a little package that you get. Everybody opens it. And something like this, that's not necessarily selling your association, it's just a gift. Thought you might find this interesting. We hope you consider getting more involved in Pyra or whatever. All right. It's, oh my gosh, 1:51 Eastern. Let me see. I'm going to look at these questions. Holy cow, there's been a lot of chat in here. That's good. How do you keep the momentum going after someone shows interest before they officially join? And then the last one is, can you share one recruitment or a campaign? Let's do this one. Any recruitment idea or campaign that exceeded your expectations, or if you want to share one that totally flopped. What are some things you've tried that have worked or not worked when it comes to recruitment?
I'll tell you about a flop I did. I tried.
Awesome.
Bring someone to our association and you get our bucks. And we were creating like fun money that they could then use on educational events. So if they brought like so many people, it was a lot, they could even come to our conference for nothing. didn't do a damn good. I don't think we got 3 people. I kept saying, come out and get EVA bucks, and it didn't work at all.
You know, similarly, I remember, oh gosh, Ceramic Society, Brittany, who do we, CCSA, anyway, Contemporary Ceramic Society of America, I think. This is years ago. I remember they gave out a gift for people to register for the conference. So like the first 100 people to register for a conference got a gift package, and it was like a t-shirt and a tote bag or something like that. People went berserk for it. Like so much so that they had to order more t-shirts and tote bags because people were pissed off that they didn't get it. They weren't in the first 100. Who knows why some of these things work, but like I find people love t-shirts. That's why I have a whole stack of them over here that I give away to new clients when they go live with stuff. Jen did the same. Oh, Justin. Justin says we did a campaign to reach out to non-members who attended out conference and invited them.
Attended their
Justin,
conference.
Our conference. Justin, just come in and tell us what you did. Unmute.
Hey, sorry. So we did a campaign to people who attended our conference who aren't members of our association and invited them to join for, I think, a $20 discount. And if flopped, like not a single person took advantage of the code to join. Thus is life.
Wow. And Jen, did you find the same result? Did yours flop as well when you tried giving a coupon code to a conference attendees that were not members?
Yes. The reason being is that usually it wasn't the attendee who was paying for their conference registration, it was their employer. So that wasn't incentive enough for them to actually join because their employer was paying for everything. So to change up the tactic, I am reaching out to those employers to offer group membership packages so that they get the discounted membership registration as well as recruiting new members.
I'll tell you one that did work really well. 2 years ago, we had if you remember, the federal government they were shutting it down, and we didn't think we were going to get any federal employees at our conference. And our early bird came and went, and then we were into regular, and we were about to go into our late fee package. And they had a continuing resolution known as a stopgap. So we created the stopgap special for federal employees only, and we may do it again this year. The stopgap special for them to have a special code. You had to work for the federal government in some way to get to use that. But we got like 100 people, so it was great.
Topher says in the chat, if you didn't see this, that they got 1,000 shirts earmarked for the first 1,000 recruiters. 3-month membership drive, and they have 7 shirts left. That sounds pretty successful. Darn t-shirts, man. So there's another great book, if you guys like reading or listening, called Giftology by John Ruhlin, who's a young guy, sadly passed away. God, it's a terrible story, but still a great book. And basically, I can summarize the whole book in like one sentence, which is gifts do not have a logo on them. So I love to give away Prop Fuel stuff, like Prop Fuel hats, Prop Fuel t-shirts, Prop Fuel pads, but those aren't gifts. Those are marketing stuff. So think about, are there gifts that you can offer that are truly just that, a gift? And I'll tell you what, when I look at my desk and I look at the stuff that I got from as a gift, I know, like even without logos, I know when I see stuff in my countertop book that a friend of mine gave me, I know exactly who gave that to me and when and what for. That was years ago.
I may be like a lot of people, Dave. I tend to throw away a lot of that stuff. If it's logoed, it's like, unless it's Nike or Adidas, I'm probably not going to wear somebody's logo. So it may just go in a drawer and then eventually gets tossed, or if it's some
Noted, Rick. Noted.
But I'll take your t-shirt. So send me one.
All right, guys, this was really far more stimulating than I expected this topic to be. Thank you. Roberta, I see you nodding. I like to see that. Thank you. Topics. Would love it if you put in there. If not, we'll just keep making stuff up. And you're welcome, Laura. This is really fun. I look at my calendar, I'm like, oh, and then I get here and like, oh, that was fun. So thank you for doing this. I really, really appreciate you guys participating and being a part of this. That's a sign of a fun industry when you can get a group of people to talk through topics like this and actually enjoy it, even though they're not making more money because of it. Good job. All right. If I don't see any other topics, we'll keep making stuff up. Topic idea, retention
Retention.
strategies that work. Yeah.
That's more specific. Yeah. Less broad than retention. It's retention that works.
Oh, the ones that work.
Yeah.
How does your association define or use membership tiers? How successful?
All right. Yeah. Any other thoughts, topics, things you want to chat about? Put them in the chat.
Thank you all very, very much. If there's anything I can do for you ever, dave@propfuel.com. Reach out anytime. And I hope to see some of you at ASAE.
Yeah. Stop by our booth, 747. Bye, everyone.